You're watching an episode of Spirits People Live with Johnny Michelson.
There we go. Happy Spirits Tuesday. Back. We're live. Live on the gram. Let's see what happened. So a little bit earlier today, so some people may or may not be able to join because of the time slot, but who knows? Gene, what's going on, man? Popping in from the land of Canada. Oh, here comes all the Canadians. You guys are all off. Or maybe you're just drunk. What's going on over there? Oh, we got Whiskey Novice in the house. What's going on, buddy? All right. So we're just waiting for Mr. Marthinus himself. So we'll do some blind tasting today. Should be good fun. My new favorite thing to do, blind tasting. Joining from Tenerife. Nice, man. Reception is shit. Yeah, out in the mountains. Emma, what's going on? Emma, I saw you went floating. There's a new place they're opening up over here next to where I live, over on Essex Road. I'm considering joining that. In the mountains of Canada. Nice one. Kind of jealous. And then again, I'm here drinking whiskey, so... Drinking gin. Solid. Alright, there he is. Bourbon Patty. Whiskey Hype is there. Another Canadian in the house. Marthinus, you ready to roll? I'll take his silence as a no. So let's bring him on. I'm an idiot. Waiting for Bourbon Patty.
Hello.
Oh, there he is. What's going on, man?
Not much. How are you?
You know, just chilling. Let me get my my little camera angle here.
Yeah.
Shit. I think I need another light. My face is all orange.
I can see that. Yeah, it looks like you've been enjoying the weather.
Oh well, I did spend some time in Italy, so I did get a little bit of a tan. So maybe that is just my actual color.
Yeah. How was that?
Oh, it's solid, man. It was solid. Yeah, it's chilling.
Nice.
Chilling.
Yeah, absolutely.
I did it. It's been a while since I've done that.
Stop touching stuff.
Oh gosh. Well, I've been recording podcasts today, so I'm a little buzzed.
Yes. That's going really well. Well done. They sound great.
Cheers, man. Cheers, man. Another blind tasting. So this will be my third today.
Oh, so you're well oiled at this stage, is what you're saying?
Oh yeah. My nose is completely melted at this point.
Nice.
Cool, man. What's going on with you? Chilling?
Yeah, chilling. Getting ready. Tomorrow we've got so every year in Ireland we have one really good bourbon tasting, and it's like a 4th of July thing.
Oh right.
It's usually on a Wednesday. This year, Wednesday again, 3rd of July. But that's fine. I'll go after work. And it's the full it's High Spirits Ireland, so it's the full pappy, some other BTAC and stuff chucked in. Still all from 2017, I believe. I don't think our 2018 has arrived yet.
Oh really? Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah. So it's the last. Yeah. Well, they're waiting on it to come over from the UK, so their hands are tied.
Well, we're trying to drink it all as fast as we can. So
that's what I think is happening. So they're basically just putting out the last bit of what they have, trying to get a big tasting going. So that's going to be awesome. Looking forward to that. And then done a few reviews, tried some more whiskey. I mean, it's been just under a month since we talked last. So it's
been a while.
Drank more whiskey, wrote more reviews, all that kind of stuff. What about you? The podcast, obviously.
Yeah, I've been working on the podcast. Have a few
Nice.
other things in the making, so that'll be
Ooh,
yeah, that's coming out. There's still some to go, maybe another couple of months, but yeah,
yeah.
been busy over here, busy drinking, you know.
I expect no less.
Nice. Happy Van Montprat. I don't know how to pronounce your name, man. I love your videos. Keep it up.
I love his videos too.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
At least I have whiskeys in the house. Awesome. We got plenty of people here. So I think we have 4 blind samples or actually, you have 2 and I have 2. But we have 4 whiskeys
Yes.
that we need to get to.
Yes.
And
Yes, absolutely.
we need to figure out how we're going to do it. What are we going to do as in terms of the order? So I labeled mine, I think A and B.
Okay. Looking at test tube. Very scientific of you, by the way.
I know.
Test tube A and test tube B. Yes. I have those ready to go. I've got some empty glasses you could probably hear clinking there in the background.
Solid. I have mine.
Yours are 1 and 2.
I have poured, yeah, so 1 and 2 and A and B, because that's how coordinated we are.
Absolutely. I love how the other 2 samples you sent me have 1 and 2 on them, but they're not.
They were, yeah, that was for, yeah, those are just blind samples for you, man.
Thanks, man. I appreciate it.
Yeah, so I got mine poured already. I got these little lids
Nice.
on here, which I actually love. These are my first whiskey coins from Vin, no nonsense whiskey.
Oh, nice.
I always thought they were kind of gimmicky. I was like, no, that's not for me. But now that I have them, I fucking love them, man. Like they fit nicely on
And
here. Keeps all the aroma in the glass. It's perfect.
Where is the spirits, people? Coins, anything?
Yeah, I'm gonna have to accelerate that because this is actually not as much of a gimmick as I thought it was. So yeah, I'll get on that.
Yeah, they'll be cheaper to ship out than t-shirts.
Tomorrow's to-do list.
Yes.
Um,
Yeah. So what way do you want to do this? Let's figure it out.
I have mine poured already. So why don't we start with number 1, and then you'll pour those 2, and we'll get through all 4 in the next hour here. So I have also prepared some tasting notes, just because.
Cheeky. I have some tasting notes for one of the. I've actually reviewed one of the bourbons I sent you, so I have some tasting notes here for that as well. But I have not yet reviewed sample 1, so that'll be the interesting one.
Cool, man. Awesome.
Yeah.
Got more people joining here. Thanks for popping in, guys. We're doing blind tasting. It's all bourbon, and I have a couple of finished bourbons here, and I've sent Marthinus a couple of. I wouldn't say they're regular bourbons, but they're non-finished. So yeah, we'll get.
B smells good.
Nice. All right, so I'm going to start here with the first one. So bourbon number 1. Here we go.
Yes, I'm looking at the bottle.
Oh shit! All right,
Right,
so
hit me with your best shot. Let's hear what you got.
All right, cool. So we'll give it a go. I'll probably change my mind as we go through it, but on the nose, I got first of all like very classic bourbon nose, like vanilla, burnt sugar, caramel, nutmeg, a little bit of toasted oak, some dried orange peel. But then I also got some dried apricots, some banana, and some cloves at the end of that.
Okay.
As I was kind of going through it, it changed a little bit. It became a little bit more tropical. And yeah, but the first part was very classic bourbon. Very classic.
Yeah. So what I like about this whiskey is, or this bourbon, it's finished, but I feel like a lot of the time, if you have to finish, it might not go well. But if it's something that you really want to do and you spend a lot of time and a lot of effort and you really go through the lengths of finding special oaks or something like this. So this is a special cask finish. It's been finished in a cask that's made from not a traditional oak. So it's still oak, but it's like a funny oak. So
a funny oak. All right.
Yeah.
We like funny oak. Cool.
Yes.
Yeah, I'll say it's in terms of as you said there, in terms of like finishing, like if you finish your whiskey, it should complement the spirit as it is on its own.
Yes.
And I think this one here, I think, has done that very successfully. It's very nice, and you could kind of tell that there's a little bit of. I mean, I probably wouldn't pick up at that this was a finished bourbon, but like now that I know that it's a finished bourbon, I feel like that you can tell that there's that influence of that.
There's something.
There's something, yeah. So I'll do the palate here. So again, vanilla, burnt toast, kind of leaning in towards like a char, and also some oak, peppercorn, and then it becomes interesting. It gets quite dark. So I'm getting like some licorice, black currant, and also some sherry or some port kind of notes on there. It became like very, very dark. As in, like all of those things. So it was quite nice and sugary and like a little bit almost like fruity and stuff like that on the nose, but then like on the palate it kind of went from very fruity and quite classic to very dark and very kind of bitter and kind of like, you know, like luring in the woods and stuff like that. That kind of darkness.
Yeah, nice and earthy. Yeah, I'm having some now as well. It's nice. It does have that nice heft to it.
Yeah. Yeah, nice finishes as well. Not super long, but like medium to long finish.
Yeah. What proof do you think it is?
I didn't write down the proof on this one. I did it on the other one. Let me give it a guess here.
Did the ballpark figure me?
$58.3.
It's lower.
It's lower?
It is.
Okay.
Yeah. It's a 108 proof.
108. Oh, wow.
So not too low.
No.
But nice.
Nice. Good. What are your thoughts on it?
I really like it. So like you said, you do get that classic bourbon nose. And it is, you get the toasted oaks, the sweetness, the caramel, and then those kind of darker fruits towards the back. And then on the palate, I mean, I love this bourbon. It's really nice. Yeah, burnt sugar, just real hefty, nice palate, and then medium to long finish.
Yeah. Bit
of pepper to it as well, which is nice. The oak does come through, but doesn't overwhelm it, which is nice for me.
Yeah.
And I think it's really good. It's a limited release. I'm kind of sad that I won't be able to get another bottle of it because it's from 2018. But I'm glad that I got a bottle of it. So I enjoy it immensely.
All right, solid. Do you wanna reveal it? What do we have?
Drinking on some Bombergers.
All right. Nice.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah.
So what's the finish? What's the fun?
It is aged in. It was finished in a Chinkapin oak cask. Chinkapin. I have it open here on the laptop. Chinkapin oak cask, which is a difficult oak to make staves out of because it grows funny. So.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
This is a Michter's satellite brand, and what they did was they just took some of their bourbon and they put it in these special oak casks from the Independent Stave Company that were, just something that they thought brought out a little bit more of what they were looking for, and added to the profile, kind of made it its own distinct bourbon. And so, yeah, it's Chinkapin. Yeah, it's a family. It's in the white oak family, but it would be difficult to use for barrels because it grows all funny and there's knots and stuff in it. So,
but it's not
something unusual.
It's not a previously, like the barrel that they created from this funny oak hasn't previously contained something else. Like it's just the wood. Is it toasted or charred or?
To be honest, can't find a lot of information on it. Like,
Okay.
I had to go digging to find what the name of the oak is, but
Right.
it's possibly, I think it's just a brandy, but I think it's charred and everything. It's
Yeah,
probably heavily toasted as well, as
yeah.
mixtures do. Heavily toasted, light char, stick it in
Yeah.
for 6 months, 9 months, whatever, and then bottle it on a nice proof. I think the 108's a really nice proof.
Yeah, I dig it. Yeah, I was wondering because I was kind of thinking, oh, is this like a toasted barrel or something? Because I couldn't get
Mm-hmm.
any like. We'll talk about the other one in a bit because like there, I feel
Yeah.
like I'm getting a very different kind of finishing sensation on that. Because this one here, I couldn't really. I was getting that kind of port and sherry kind of notes at the end there, but I didn't feel like that was because of the like a finishing. I thought that was just kind of natural, like the profile just kind of changing.
Yeah. So instead of being finished in a wine cask, which I think a lot of people don't like wine cask finishes with bourbons, they either do quite well or they flop. This is finished in just a different oak.
Yeah.
Kind of keep it. Now I know a lot of people are doing French oak and stuff like that, and again, it doesn't add like a particularly winey profile, which a lot of people like. I don't like wine, so if I taste wine on my whiskey, I'm like I don't want wine in my whiskey, you know?
Yeah.
Now that's not saying that it can't be done really well, and I have had some nice port finishes, some nice different types of finishes, Oloroso sherry finishes and stuff like that. But this is it's still finished, but it's just a different oak.
Yeah.
That is finished in. Yeah,
Very
it
cool.
was my wife's favorite out of so when the Michter's guys launched in Ireland, we went to the tasting and we tried the whole lot, and we tried that in Shanks as well. My wife picked that as her favorite, which is the highest proof on the night. It's kind of ironic for someone who doesn't drink whiskey. That was her favorite, so I've been hiding my bottle.
Yeah, it's kudos to the profile overall, right? Because like if the proof doesn't matter, the profile is the winning point.
Exactly, yeah, which she quite liked. So that's why I made sure to get a bottle as soon as I could.
Nice.
Yeah.
Awesome. All right, cool. You ready for some blind?
Yes. Now I did accidentally taste this about 2 or 3 weeks ago when it arrived.
I know.
Thinking it was the 1 and 2. And then very quickly drank some rare breed, wild turkey rare breed, just scrub my palate. It's like I completely forget what this tastes like. Everything just tastes like wild turkey now.
Nice.
Okay.
Cool.
So I have it here.
So,
it's been sitting.
Yeah. So for anyone just watching now, so I've just done one of the blind samples on my end that was sent by Marthinus here, and it was the Bombergers from
Bombergers Declaration, 2018 release,
and
108 proof.
Nice. And now Mr. Marthinus himself is gonna get in the ring. Try a blind sample.
Okay, so my first impression is you've sent me something dusty. It's got a very nice color, but it has a lot of butterscotch on the nose. That kind of like typical, what I would associate with old dusty bourbon, like 90s bourbon. It's really nice. It's just a ton of sweet caramel and going on butterscotch. A little bit of earthiness, a little bit of pepper. Let's see, do I get any fruit? Got a little bit of nuttiness as well. Not so much fruit, but there's a lot of vanilla and a lot of butterscotch.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I get on the nose.
I haven't tasted this in a while, actually. That's nice.
Mm.
Let's see what the proof is.
So it starts kind of earthy on the palate. Kind of caramelized peanuts. And then it gets almost fruity. Let me try a little bit more. It's delicious.
It is quite good.
Mmm. It's like that old earthy char, which speaks of either old barrels or old whiskey from like Glut era when they were bottling crazy things as nothing. And then on the aftertaste you get a nice bitterness as well. It does really remind me of like, let's say a 90s or early 2000s Wild Turkey or a 90s Blanton's.
Mm.
That real like butterscotchy, just dusty. There isn't a big proof hit, but you're getting all those nice, lovely flavors.
Yeah. No, I definitely get that. What do you think about the ABV? Oh, I think we lost you there for a second. What do you think about the ABV? Oh shit, Marthinus. See if the internet is giving up on us. There he is.
We're back on track. Sorry, I think my Wi-Fi kind of dipped out there for a second.
Yeah, no worries, man. I was just asking, what do you think about ABV level on this one?
Okay, let me give it another. I'd say 100 or lower, but no lower than, say, 90. Between 100 and 90 is where I would peg this particular one.
Okay. It's at the very bottom of that. Is 90.2.
Ah, nice. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
See, it's got that nice charred oak kind of butterscotch, earthy rye driven flavor, so it doesn't really need big proof then, because that would just make those flavors really spicy.
Yeah.
It's delicious.
All right. Were you ready for
All right, what
the
is
reveal?
it? Oh, I'm ready.
It's not what you think it is.
Oh, it's probably going to be... Oh! Well, there you go. Ah, I love that stuff. That's so good. That's Old Bourbon.
20-year-old bourbon from Barda House, which is a orphan barrel bottling from Diageo. So, yeah, a lot of time in wood.
Yeah.
So yeah, not necessarily a dusty, but not a dusty either, because this is some old stuff.
It's from the guy who made that, Edwin Foote. He's he was a huge master distiller back in the day. He was a master distiller over at Old Bernheim, and his stuff was even in 2016 Pappy Van Winkle 23. So somebody older just before Pappy Van Winkle went fully Buffalo Trace, they had some Old Bernheim juice in there, and you could really taste it.
Nice.
The Rhetoric stuff is also the Orphan Barrel Rhetoric stuff is also from Old Bernheim, and it has very similar, that nice high rye bourbon kind of profile, which is delicious. I mean, that stuff's delicious. I've never actually tried Barda House, so thank you very much for that sample. That's awesome.
Yeah, no worries, man. No worries. Yeah, I had a bottle of Rhetoric. I think it was the 21. So they started with 20, and now they're up to like, what, 25 or something, I think?
25 is the last one. Yeah.
Yeah. I've had 20, 21, and 22. I can't remember having 23. But yeah, it was great. Yeah, I loved it.
Yeah.
I bought when I had the chance, a friend of mine grabbed 2 of these in the US, and they were like $90 a piece.
Ah, it's so good.
So yeah, they were easily, you could get it in one store here in the UK at the time, and they were selling for like £200, which was, I guess, even cheap at that time. But yeah, $90 is fucking great.
Yeah, right. I mean, that's delicious. Like, that tastes old. I don't feel like I've been cheated. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I thoroughly enjoyed that. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And I actually have samples of Rhetoric from 20 to 25, so I should really get down to pulling those apart and seeing what the difference is for the progressive aging. Oh
yeah, do like a horizontal there. That would be awesome.
Yeah, it's just it's a lot of bourbon to do one tasting with. So
got to do it for science, man.
That's it. I got to figure out how I'm going to do it and do it properly, that I get my comparisons right. But I had the 23 before, and I really liked the 23. Really liked Rhetoric 23, and it was from the same kind of stuff, I think. As far as I know, Barter House is Old Bernheim, because I know like Diageo bought it, so
Yeah. Well, they went into some old warehouses and found some lost barrels, you know, so.
Yeah, they also got into some lawsuits because their whiskey mold was growing on everyone's houses.
Oh, yeah, that's true. That's true.
So they had to pay to wash off the houses, and they had to get rid of some old barrels. What are you going to do?
Oh, my gosh. All right,
That
cool.
was so good.
So that was Barterhouse, guys. Fucking
That was delicious is what that was.
delicious stuff. All the marketing crap aside, it is actually really, really nice.
I really enjoyed that, yeah. I would pay $90 a bottle for that. I'd probably grab 2.
It's worth $90 for sure. $200?
Nah. Unless that is a flavor profile that particularly appeals to you, 90, maybe $110 is as high as I'd go. To know that I have 20-year-old bourbon that was made by a really good, well-renowned master distiller. Okay, yes, he didn't see it into its maturity.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's pretty decent.
Yeah.
You know, the guy didn't make crappy bourbon, so.
Yeah, I guess a lot of, especially with older stuff, like some of my problems previously has always been like, oh, the proof is too low. Like I want to bump up the proof. The problem is that when you have stuff that's that old, if the proof is higher, all you could taste is wood. And that's like,
that's it. Yeah.
That's the challenge, because like, oh yeah, I love barrel proof stuff, but I also like old stuff. But like you can't really have both. Like you can maybe find a unicorn at some point, like an old Willet or something, where you have like a barrel proof, like 20-plus-year-old, where it's like, I mean, you don't get that often. Like you really have to like find that unicorn.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. The problem is just the barrel as well. If like this is probably all lower tier barrels, and so instead of the proof going up, it goes down the angel share. So by the time you get to that 20-year-old barrel, if you want something that doesn't taste like you're chewing on oak, you're going for lower tier barrels, and they're going to have a low proof.
Yeah.
Which is what happened with one of the Wild Turkey Masters Keep. Was it Masters Keep? Or something, one of those special Eddie Russell releases. He ended up going for low tier barrels, and then it was released at like 80-something proof. No, 80-something proof, but that was the proof it almost came out of the barrel at. Or it was a really low proof, and people were like, oh, like, that sucks. He's like, no, that's what it came out of the barrel as, because Rare Breed was taking all the higher proof stuff. So, you know, if you want to put older juice in there, you don't want that oak to come in and ruin things for you.
Yeah. Amen, brother. Amen.
Amen. And cheers to this. That was delicious.
Nice. All right, so I'm on to the second sample here. There's a little bit left in this. So yeah, just doing my notes here. So I'll share my notes from before, and then I'll kind of talk over it here. So yeah, again, like the very initial nosing of this one versus the first one here, excuse me, versus the first one was that the first sniff was like, oh, it's a bourbon, and then it just went all over the place. It just went from, oh, here's some vanilla and maybe some caramel. Oh, no, wait. Then there was some cherries. Then there was sultanas. Then there was rye bread. Then there was cinnamon and mint. And then all of a sudden it became fragrant and floral.
You're going to understand, when I reveal what it is, you'll be like, makes sense. It is a little bit, it is, the way it is finished is, although it is very, like, unique, it would kind of take a classic bourbon profile and stretch it in certain directions depending on what the people decide. So, that makes sense.
Yeah, and I was also getting a lot more ethanol on the nose. It was quite sharp. The ethanol definitely punched through all of that as well, so I couldn't really nose it for too long. I think the ABV is probably like in the 60 plus here. On the palate,
55.3.
was that?
55.3.
55.3. Oh, wow. Okay. Interesting.
Barrel proof though, at that. But yeah, I get like I get green oak. Initially, it's like a lot of like almost smells a bit young
Yeah,
when I know it isn't.
It isn't? Okay, I was going to say, like, yeah, is it young? Because it feels like there's so much on the finishing influence that maybe the juice going into it wasn't really that mature in the first place.
It's about 6 or 7 years old going in the first place, and then it's finished for, I think it's 9 months. My laptop's crapped out, so I can't check my notes, but...
Okay. Well, it's not, I mean, like, for a bourbon, that's not really that young.
I feel like maybe the finishing might have had a big impact, though. Maybe what they finished it in or what they used to finish it was young, and so that carried over. But yeah, there's like buttered warm toast.
Yeah, so there's, it's on the palate, yeah. Oak, char. It became a little earthy. There's like maybe some cigar box. There's some dark chocolate. The rye bread carried through. So I wonder if maybe it's a high rye bourbon here. I'm not sure.
It is not.
It's not? Okay, that's strange, but...
No rye at all.
Interesting. I'm getting some cherries as well on the palate. And then some peppercorn, like some bitterness. Also, like bitters. Similar to the first one, actually. I'm getting this black currant. But here, the thing that I find interesting on this one versus the first one, where this one here really coats your mouth a lot more. So I have a feeling like this could be because of the finishing, and maybe it had a thicker spirit, like a port or a sherry cask, maybe even a PX, like a very no, it's not that sweet. Maybe it's Oloroso. But that's kind of, that would be my...
I know it's probably not chill filtered this release, whereas the previous one would have probably gone through a custom chill filtration profile or protocol. Whereas this one, I'm not sure if it is. I think it's just, once it's finished, it gets passed through a screen into the bottles.
Okay.
So it would be non-chill filtered. You get all those oils which would sit anywhere they touch.
Yeah. Yeah, it's definitely a lot more viscous, this one here. The other one was quite watery. Yeah. This one here is definitely a lot thicker on the palate. And I felt like it was almost like a coating, like the coating that you would get when you drink a sherry or a port. Not that I do that very often, but like when I've done it, I get this kind of like thick, almost like, you know, like I don't know what that sensation is, but yeah, I'm getting a little bit of that, which would then like lead me to believe that maybe there is this kind of like a heavy...
Those oaky oils coming out of the wood are just coating your mouth and sitting there with a spicy kind of a aftertaste as well. Yeah, it's a real long aftertaste. Yeah,
it's super long. And it almost, there's a lot of almost like grapes and stuff, raisins and stuff on the finish. It becomes almost like wine-ish. So yeah, very very interesting stuff, man. What are your thoughts?
I like it. Yeah, it is. It's something unique, but like you said, the nose is a bit punchy, and then you go on to the. It almost tastes like a craft tonight. Like I haven't had this in a while, but tonight it almost tastes like an MB Roland or something. It tastes like a craft bourbon that is maybe only peaked past four on its way to 5 years old. Whereas I know it's 6 to 7, 8, depending on, you know, like this particular distillery would typically pick around 6 to 8. You know, it depends on the barrel. But usually 6 to 7 is usually what they go for. So
we got a guess here from Perpetual Nectar, Maker's Mark Private Select. I think that's not correct.
Only time will tell. I'm not giving anything away. but we will be accepting guesses.
Very interesting. Yeah, I would say, I mean, my guess would be on the craft side of things. Like, I don't think this is a big producer. Like, I feel like there's too much going on, and there's not. I feel like the balance between the nose and the palate is a little bit off for me.
Okay.
I don't know. Yeah, I think the finishing of this, I think, is probably, in my opinion, less successful than the first one. I think the first one was quite a successful integration of that finishing, where I think this here potentially may have messed it up. Not messed it up, that's the wrong thing. Like, it may have just like thrown it off a little bit and become a little bit more like an artist blend.
Yes. Okay. So I understand what you mean. I feel like there might have been someone or some people, like someone along the line, tried to make something like unique, and so really messed with the parameters to create something that stands out. Yeah. But might be missing the mark a little bit. Yeah. Okay. You ready? You ready to see what it is?
That's my take. That's what I'm getting. I'm looking at it completely wrong, because I love blind tasting where you're just like completely surprised.
You ready?
Let's do it.
Perpetual Nectar was right. Maker's Mark Private Select.
Jesus Christ.
This is a select by Cork and Bottle.
All right.
And it is their number 6. The 6th time they've done this. It is 8 staves of baked American Pure 2 and 2 staves of seared French Cuvée. Stuck in a maker's barrel, left in the limestone cave for whatever period of time, I can't remember off the top of my head, and let the magic happen. So it is Maker's Mark, which is why I said there's no rye in there at all. So hats off to Perpetual Nectar, they know their stuff.
Oh man. Well, they know the notes, because all we've done is talk about tasting notes. So
right, yeah,
we've done something right. I just couldn't place it, and also, to be honest, like, I don't think it's that successful. That's just my opinion, but like, who cares about my opinion? Yeah,
I mean, listen, everyone's gonna taste different stuff. I actually have another bottle, their 5th, and it was the exact same stave combination, I think. Or this is when they changed the stave combination they hadn't done since the first pick, and it's completely different. Completely different.
Yeah.
And that's just what the Maker's Mark Private Select program does. It just contribute. You start adding all these. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. Different staves, and they all like. There's a crazy amount of possible combinations you can do. I think it's like 1,000 or something.
Wow.
Because they've got 5 staves, and you're sticking 10 staves in there.
Yeah. So you can combine I mean.
So there's a crazy amount of possibilities, but this was done by Mr. Ed Bly, who did Old Baldy 2, all those like super successful store picks. And it was just I think this one was the one that was, the profile was created to match like a dusty Maker's Mark bottle that they brought with them to the actual creation of the pick. I don't know how well it worked out this time, but apparently the previous pick was really good.
Okay.
So
it's
interesting.
A lot of things make sense. Like, now that I know what it is, like, okay, man, like, all these things that are kind of a little bit all over the place. I guess you kind of have to like that kind of zigzag of things. It's just not for me. I think it's almost too complex. Like, I understand the complexity, and I like the fact that there's almost like a journey through the spirit. You start with something that's quite, like, you have all these like nice and fruity and floral flavors, and then you go in, it becomes really dark and stuff. I can appreciate that as a journey, but like, all of those things together, just like, no, it doesn't work for me.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like, every flavor, every stave combination is going to produce a different flavor. So you're going to start with your base Maker's Mark, and then they've designed these staves to add particular flavors. And depending on, you've got 10 to stick in that barrel of barrel-proof Maker's Mark.
Yeah.
So, like, you can really go to town. And we're getting these in the UK now. So that's why I stuck that in there. Trying to give you an idea of what we might possibly get in the future, or you know yourself. You know? If you haven't tried it before. There is I think the whiskey shop in Manchester have done 2 picks now at this stage. And then Harvey Nichols.
Yeah, Nichols and Perk, I think.
Or Nichols and Perk.
Yeah, they had one, and I think there was another one as well. Yeah. I've only had a few of these. I don't necessarily remember tasting them. I think they just haven't. I mean, if I remember them, it probably would have been better because it would have meant that I probably liked it more. But yeah, I don't remember tasting them, but I know that I've tasted a few. So yeah, maybe it's not for me. I don't know. I definitely want to try some more now because I find it quite fascinating. But yeah, this one here is just a little bit over the top.
Yeah, stick it next to some Maker's 101 and some cask strength if you have it, and just see if something consistent pops out at you. Because I remember the 101 was something that sounded really good to me on paper, and then I tried it blind in our like first blind tasting, and I remember being like, "This is terrible," or like, you know, like this is like, what is this? And then it turned out to be Maker's 101, and I was like, what? That's supposed to be good. Because cask strength is so good. So,
I know, I love the cask strength.
yeah, do those 3 and see what you think, because I feel like that will be an interesting kind of like a flight, whether it's a vertical or horizontal. I don't know which one that is, but that'll be interesting.
Nice, man. Cool. Thanks for sharing that. That's a good one
no problem.
for me because that's again the finishing, and I was caught on that finishing here on one of the podcasts I just recorded. So you'll be able to listen to how I didn't pick up on those things. So yeah, it was top of mind. So perfect for today.
Yeah. I mean, I love how blind tastings do that. You're like, oh yeah, I'm really getting this, or I'm not really getting this, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh, it's this, and it's like, it's not rye, it's wheat, and you're like, shit.
Yeah. Oh well.
Listen, that's the whole point of blind tastings.
I know.
You get to bash things and say they're terrible when everyone else is going crazy about them.
Bourbon Gents in the house.
Yeah.
All right, so fourth.
Right. Sample number 2.
Or sample number 2 for Mr. Bourbon Patty.
Smells good. Smells crafty. Getting a lot of those darker notes and get a lot of oak. Smells like dark sugar caramel, or possibly even burnt caramel. A bit of pepper.
Oh, that is good.
Get some smoky oak. Get some smoky oak. I hope my nose isn't like just completely steamrolled at this stage, because I was tasting what you were tasting, and then tasting what you had sent me, and then I warmed up with some Long Branch.
Nice.
Yeah, I mean, it's in the UK now. We can get it for less than 40 quid.
Yeah.
I mean, it's nice.
I was debating whether or not I should pick one up. I tried it at the whiskey show, but then again, it's like, dude, I just have so many bottles, and it's like, it's just another. I mean, it's not that it's not. It's a
really nice looking bottle.
It's readily available, which is like, but you can you could always buy it. Like, I'm kind of at a point where I'll buy something where you won't be able to get this again, then you'll buy it. It's like, okay, it's like that is
what I go for most of the time.
Most of the time.
But I am a bit of a Wild Turkey fangirl. So when I heard Long Branch is coming, I was like, someone hook me up. I'm looking for some Long Branch. So
Nice. Do you have
so that's
Eddie and Russell over your over the back of your knickers?
I wish I went to the Wild Turkey Distillery hoping to see Eddie or Jimmy or Eddie there, but no luck. So I just went on the tour. It was a good tour.
Mm.
And then just tried some bourbon and went home. I went all the way to Lawrenceburg. Not a single Russell in sight. I was gonna go looking for him.
It's like go knock on his home, like his front door.
Start hassling tour guides, like, listen, this is real nice. This tour you've got put together here, but where is Eddie?
Yeah.
Where's his office? I have a complaint.
I was expecting Jimmy in the shop. Like, no.
Yeah, I thought you guys had him installed permanently.
Just on a chair.
Chained to something. But no, it was a great distillery visit. It was a great distillery tour. But no Russells that time. Otherwise, I would have had them sign something. I don't know. I would have bought something for them to sign if I didn't have something for them to sign.
It's like sign the check.
Can you make the nipple like the dot on the I for Eddie?
Yeah. Nice.
Yeah. Right. Sample 2. Oh, of course. Anything for Wild Turkey. This is the bourbon that got me started. I've got some deep respect for Wild Turkey and what they're doing.
Mm-hmm. They do some good stuff.
Their Dussies are always money well spent.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely. I'm getting some dark fruit now this time. This second pass on the nose. Haven't tasted it yet, but second pass on the nose. Some dark stone fruit are popping out of me. It's cherries, but it's not full-blown cherries, if you know what I mean. You get a whiff of it and then the yolk comes back in.
Cherry. Tiny little
bit of cherry, yeah. There's a cherry in the glass. Okay, right. Let's do this palate.
Love this stuff.
Okay, so
I'm gonna add a drop.
Quite a flavorful palate. A lot of oak. Some burnt caramel in there. A little bit of what I think is earthy rye. Could be wrong. Could be wheat. Wheat tends to be quite spicy if it's young as well. But it tastes crafty as well. It tastes like the nose smells.
That's a good point, actually. It tastes like it smells.
Like there's nothing wild jumping out at me that I wasn't expecting from the nose. Stick it at a high proof. I'd say well over 100. It is spicy. Finish is nice. Some bitter oak aftertaste. A little bit of dark fruit again. With peppery. I mean, it's nice. Finish isn't super long, but there is a nice aftertaste. That again just reminds me of the palate. It's got a beautiful color. It's very dark. Like, I think if I hadn't already poured it out, it's showing up darker than what the 20-year-old was, the Barter House. But then again, that was proof down, so the colors would kind of not correspond very well there.
We have another guest here from Cavan. Straight from the barrel. The stag.
I would not say either. In stag, I always get a massive cherry hit. And then you get that. Although, maybe it's a stag I haven't tried yet. It could be like a stag junior, perhaps? Then again, it's not Buffalo Tracy enough. It's not kind of like a mash bill one you get. Like when you're drinking Eagle Rare, you know you're drinking Eagle Rare. You're drinking like Stag. George T. Stagg is a great, like, it's just a bourbon. It's nothing else. It's just a bourbon. Strong, barrel-proof bourbon. And I always give you that leather, dark cherry, touch of rye, kind of stuff, like caramel. But it's a real hard-working bourbon. This kind of tastes kind of crafty. So I'm hoping I'm not completely wrong. Fuck. Shit. What year is that?
It's 2018.
See, I haven't tried it 2018. I missed out on the samples. Shit.
Dude, I was trying to keep a straight face for so long.
Need to fix that.
Oh my gosh.
When I saw Cavan's message, I was like, it does taste a little bit Buffalo Tracy, but not enough that I would say George T. Stagg. Shit. There you go. It legitimately, you know what? Pick up some MB Roland. Pick up some MB Roland, and you will also be impressed. Because it's very similar to this.
God saying you guys are so crap.
Blind. You try it. You know what? Get Karan on this. Get him on this.
Well,
send him some blind samples. Send him some Michter's 20. And then just watch him squirm under the pressure of doing it live.
Oh my gosh. That's hilarious.
Wow.
It's fucking delicious.
I remember.
I love it.
I tried this next to... See, I've never really been a massive George T. Stagg fan. I have some 2017, which I like. I mean, it's decent.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like, I'm going to have it. It's going to be great. Barrel-proof bourbon. Exactly what it says on the tin. It's delicious. But would I buy a second bottle? Probably not. You know, like, I had a 2016, which was, like, crazy 70.72 or something proof. And I just, raffled it off. You know, because I was like, George T. Stagg. I mean, it's nice, but I'm not going to sell my mother for a bottle. If it was William LaRue Weller now, I would sell my mother for a bottle of that.
Oh.
And I say that knowing that she won't watch this.
I'll send it to her. I have her on speed dial.
Shit. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
I mean, it's nice, but I remember trying these side by side, thinking they were the Pappy. And I remember thinking, like, A is much better than B. So, save your money on secondary Stag and buy some Barter House instead.
Yeah, man.
Would be my take on it.
Oh,
controversial statement.
Yeah. Statement of the year. We'll quote you on that.
Yeah? Do it.
It's official. Oh
did they, what, do you know what the age is on this? Is it 15 years and something months like it usually is?
I have no idea. No idea. It's 62.45%, 124.9 proof.
So low enough? That's low enough for a Stag.
Yeah, no idea.
I don't know. When's the last time they released a Stag that was that low? Like, that's quite low for Stag.
Yeah. I honestly, I haven't really been a big fan of, flies. Fuck. Haven't been a fan of Stag either. So this is the first, actually, the first Stag that I've owned. And I bought 2 bottles because I thought it was so good. And then I was like, maybe my palate has changed. So I wanted to try some of the older ones. It's like, nah, still don't like the old Stags, but really like this.
Yeah, Stag doesn't really do it for me. I mean, I love the bottle that I have, but I don't find myself reaching for it, even if it's a special occasion, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, it's honestly, it is does what it says on the tin bourbon. Like, it is a classic, barrel-proof, full of cherries and full of charred oak bourbon. It's got some burnt caramel and stuff in there, but like I said, I mean, it's great, but Booker's has that plus earthy peanuts, you know?
Yeah.
Like, I feel like the age is always great on the Stag. It's usually about 15 years old.
But
I preferred the Barter House.
Cavan saying 17 years. So it's like, okay, it's 17 years. Cavan knows everything.
You can get they give out the big like page. Every case has a printout of exact specific details of what went into that batch. So yeah, 17 years, great. I mean, is 17-year-old bourbon always amazing? Maybe not.
Not always, but sometimes it helps.
Listen, at the retail price, this is delicious. But at secondary price, you're getting scammed.
Yeah.
Your money could be better spent elsewhere.
Yeah, I picked up both at retail. I mean, I never bought any BTAC or Pappies except for retail. Like, it's just not worth it.
Same. Actually, I picked up a bottle. My actual bottle of Stag from 2017 was retail was like $90. You know, which at that price, it's a fantastic bottle. Like I'm blown away for $90. But like what is secondary? Like 2, 3, 5, 700, 800? I don't know. You know?
I don't follow it.
At that stage, you're just buying a label. You're buying a very expensive paperweight that you're going to sell on to someone else.
Looks good though.
I mean, right? Bottle looks good. Silk screen, real nice. You can make a really cool glass, a drinking glass, a highball glass out of the bottle when you finish it.
More like a pint glass, actually.
Depends where you cut it.
Well, then you won't get any of that silk screen on it. You're going to cut it too low. Do like a really short shot glass. Wide and like just short.
where the thick glass is thicker than the actual glass itself. It's like a Petri dish in heels.
Oh my god. Oh, well, that was fun.
That was awesome. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you.
You sent over some great pours. I feel like I didn't really send over. I mean, I sent over the best of what I have finish-wise. I mean, I thought I sent some interesting options anyway.
Well, so the reason I sent these two is because we talked about before doing this stream here, like that we were gonna do like all finished bourbons, but like I really don't have any finished bourbons, so like instead I thought I would go with aged. So like something that's been in the barrel for a long time. So yeah, that was kind of the thought behind it.
Yeah, the 20-year-old was amazing. The 17-year-old Stag, I wouldn't pour Coke on top of it, but I wouldn't sell my mother for a bottle.
Yeah, don't pour Coke on it.
No.
All right, cool. We're about to be kicked off here. Before we do that, we need to do a quick giveaway.
Yes.
So luckily, we don't have that many numbers, so I'll scramble the list here. So yeah, not that many people are joining, which is good for these people because that means that there's a higher chance of winning. So a number between 2 and 11.
11?
Both numbers included.
8.
8. Whiskey Sorensen.
Hey!
There we go. Norwegian. Awesome.
Excellent. Great to be sending t-shirts up that way.
The tote bag.
There it is. Tote bag. Great to be sending tote bags up that way.
Awesome. Oh my gosh. All right, cool. I think before we get kicked off, I'll close it out. Thanks for joining, man. Thanks for the blind samples, and thanks everyone.
No problem at all.
For joining us.
Thank you. It's been awesome as always. Yes.
Always. Until next time, my friend. Cheers.
Until next time. Cheers.
Cheers. Thanks everyone for joining.
Thank you.
Peace.
Thank you for watching this episode of Spirits People Live. For more videos, check out spiritspeople.com, subscribe on YouTube, And be sure to follow us on Instagram, where we connect you with spirits people worldwide.